Good morning, class. Today we'll be talking about classification in fungi. Different taxonomies classified fungi with slight differences. So we are just going to look at one or a few of them, and then we would have a detailed classification by henceforth. Living things are classified into main groups before originally, but now they are classified into 5 groups. Originally plants and animals, presently Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi, Animalia. Plantae, Fungi, Animalia, Monera and Protista. The plant kingdom, you have the flowering plants and non-flowering plants. But what we are concentrating on is the fungi. How are they classified? General characteristics that are used in classification of fungi include distinctive characteristics. For the nomenclature of fungi is binomial with a generic and specific name, e.g. Aspergillus flavus. Species are collected in genera, then in families, genera in families, and families are with suffix aca. Order with the suffix ales, and then the class mycetes. Division mycota. Then when it comes to the slime molds, they are known as mycetes as their class. Other lower fungi, mycetes. The higher fungi, mycetes. Fungi have been classified in a number of ways. In the earlier classification, called primitive classification, the criteria used in classifying fungi include habitat, structure, types of hyphae, spores. Concerning habitat, primarily, the habitat has been used as a means of classification of fungi, like aquatic, terrestrial, or atmospheric fungi. So a number of fungi of different characteristics may be found in various habitats. Therefore, the use of habitat is not scientific and thus not authentic. Then structure, the somatic structure or vegetative parts may be used as a means of classification. Then type of hyphae, whether they have septa, that is cross wall in their somatic body, in their hyphae, known as synocytic, is used as part of classification criteria, especially in the lower fungi like mycetes, that is the mycetes. If the hyphae is septate, then such a fungus belongs to the higher fungi and is classified as thus. For example, with ordinary septate hyphae belong to Ascomycetes. When the hyphae are divided into a number of clamp connections, the fungi belong to Basidiomycetes. Classification on the basis of hyphae was a convenient method of classification in the 1940s. So, fungi can either be unicellular or have hyphae. Like we have discussed, the yeast is the unicellular fungi or the hyphal fungi. When you use spores as basis of classification, the type of spores used in the reproduction are usually used in classification. When the spores are motile with means of flagella, they are known as zoosporic fungi, while those with conidia are conidial fungi. Fungi with zoospore that have a single flagella are referred to haplomystigomycotina, and those with two flagella are known as diplomystigomycotina. However, those without flagella are amastigomycotina, and those in between, the flagellate and the non-flagellate, are submastigomycotina. In the amastigomycotina, some produces zygote and are referred to as zygomycetes. Some fungi continues to produce sac-like structure which serve as spore containers, and are known as ascomycetes. They produce spores within the sacs, which are known as ascospores. For any fungi to be named, there must be approval from Committee on International Rules of Botanical Nomenclature, IRBN. And so taxonomy of fungi follows their recommendation according to various taxa. And those taxas end as follows in this hierarchy. Division, mycotina. Subdivision, mycotina. Classes, mycetes. Subclasses, mycetidae. Order, Aeles. Then you have ascos, ascospores, basidium, and under family Aaceae. Okay, we'll continue. We have a few minutes to go. When it comes to class, for example, you have Basidiomycetes, subclass Heterobasidiomycetidae, order Tramillelis, family Auriculaceae. That is Auricularia, where the mushroom called ear mushroom, Auricularia auricularia. So you have a local way of classification. I don't want to bother you with that. Let's continue with what we are doing. When you talk about habitat, a good example, I will avoid Nigerian classification completely. We just go on to modern classification of fungi. A critical look at the earlier basis of classification, comparing it with modern classification, you look at evolutionary relationship. Fungi were broadly divided into two: lower fungi, higher fungi. Fungi are classified on morphology and physiology into Acariomycetes, that is the cellular slime molds; Myxomycetes, true slime molds; Phycomycetes, lower fungi, which consists of Chytridomycetes, Oomycetes, Zygomycetes, Eumycetes. The higher fungi consisting of Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. So you have 8 classes in the subdivision mycotina, that is the higher fungi. The modern classification consists of 5 major divisions, which are mastigomycotina, amastigomycotina, ascomycotina, basidiomycotina, deuteromycotina. So in the primitive classification, the first class is the lower fungi, which have their vegetative mycelia, which are cenocytic, or that is aseptate. A few are unicellular, and vegetative mycelium ranges from simple rhizoid to somatic cells, and to even extremely intricate aneuploidies of rhizomycelium. The higher group of lower fungi, however, has well-developed hyphae system, usually cenocytic, and are only endued with septa to cut off the reproductive structure. The second class is the higher fungi with the vegetative mycelium, usually septate. In this class, the mycelium becomes differentiated into fruiting bodies, which are usually visible and conspicuous. For example, edible mushrooms are extension of mycelia, singular mycelium, plural mycelia. 2 major groups are known and recognized in higher fungi. These major groups include ascomycetes and deuteromycetes.